Welcome to Struggling to Succeed. This week, I want to discuss why it's never too late to start, but in my journey, starting late has had its regrets. One of the reasons why I started my personal development journey was because of regret. I was in a difficult place in my life, or I felt a bit stuck. When I look at myself, I wasn't really this giant iceberg floating in the Atlantic with lots of depth and complexity and strategies underneath the surface part of my life. I felt less like an iceberg and more like an ice cube floating in a glass of Jack Daniels. I was just didn't really have a lot of complexity to my life, a lot of strategies, a lot of depth. And that's how I felt about myself. And that's what really drove me to starting in the personal development industry. Wanting to have that layers, wanting to have more to my life and wanting to have completed more and experienced more. So the reason why I say this is the regret of not really having a lot going on in my life and just kind of having that work weekend party life, sort of work during the week, go out at the weekend, work during the week, go out at the weekend, and not really doing much else than that, really drove me and had already had a little bit of regret or pain points in my life that wanted me to experience more, do more, and challenge myself. So regret does have its usefulness, and it was something that fueled me. But now in my struggling to succeed journey, I think regret is actually slowing me down. I am definitely a huge believer in starting. Doesn't matter how old you are, you should start. Start late, start early, start whenever you can. However, something that I've not really heard any success coach or podcasts or books talk about is what I'm going through right now. And I would describe what I'm going through right now as my regret stage. And the reason why I'm calling it my regret stage is that I've got to a certain point where I have implemented strategies and tips and techniques around meditation, growth, spirituality growth, around my fitness, around my money. But, and I hate saying the word but, there is a pain now that every time that I read a new tip and technique and I implement that into my life, which creates successes for me, I have this like pain that sort of washes over me where I'm like, oh man, like what if I started this 15 years ago? What if I'd done more with my life? I'm only 38 when I'm shooting this video, and 38 to some people might be old. 38 to other people, I might still be a kid, and I'm definitely feel like I'm still growing, and I'm barely an adult. But there's a lot of regret because even though I've only been on my personal development journey, not even for 5 years really, when I think about it, round about that 5-year period now that I picked up my first book in the personal development and self-development industry, that I'm definitely hitting that stage where I'm looking at all back at my life, at my 20s and my late 20s, early 20s, even my early 30s, and I'm already kind of angry. And I've not heard any coaches talk about this. Oh, by the way, when you start late, or if you start late, there's going to be a certain point when you learn all these great techniques and strategies about fitness and money and spirituality and business growth and philosophy. And you're going to hit a point where you're going to like bang your head against a brick wall. And you're going to be so frustrated that why the hell didn't I get started on this years ago? And that's the thing that I'm working through right now. And that is the essence of what this video is about. It's almost a warning that do start your journey. And hopefully you won't go through what I'm going through right now. But I'm guessing everybody must go through this. I can't be alone, am I? Let me know in the comments if I am or if I'm not. But I definitely feel like I'm being held back by this continual regret and this continual sort of cycle of beating myself up when I'm like, I could have done so much more at university. I could have done so much more in my jobs. I could have done so much more in my fitness. I could have done so much more with my money. I could have done so much more with everything. And it's like, but, and again, I hate saying but, however, use a slightly better word, it still means but. I have to be grateful that I still have the opportunity to change it around. And I have to be grateful that I still have the chance to create a bigger, better future for myself. But it doesn't stop me from being really pissed off from time to time about how stupid I was in my life. My struggling to succeed journey and this channel is about documenting what I'm going through at the moment. And what I'm going through at the moment is my regret stage. And to follow this video up, I will be doing a video which I'll post next week about the tips and techniques and strategies that I'm using to push by this phase of regret that I have after starting my journey late and realizing the unlimited possibilities that you have in your life and trying to get over that regret of starting late and realizing that you could have been so much more ahead or further ahead than I currently am now. Now, I am still a huge fan of getting started. I'm extremely happy that I got started on my journey. My life is much better. I have to admit that. My meditation practice is something that I love. And my fitness, I'm 38 and I definitely am fitter than I've ever been in my life. Don't not start your journey. If there's something that you want to do in your life, go and do it. Fuck it. Who gives a shit about regret? Who gives a shit about all the time that you missed? Just fucking do it. Just have fun, get out there and get started. I'm glad I did. Yes, I'm going through a difficult time. This Struggling to Succeed is all about. It's tracking my struggles to succeed. It's not a struggle if you're not going through difficult times. And life isn't worth living if you can't push through the darker moments, because the darker moments usually teach us our biggest lessons. That's it from me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you can swing back in to the follow-up video next week. Also, if you did like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you can follow along and get lots more content on my Struggling to Succeed journey. Thanks very much for watching. Hope to see you next week. And as always, make it a good one.